Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to the Not So Daily Show. The show comes to you daily, except when it doesn't. I'm your host, Themba Kevin. To my left, we've got political analyst and guy with the coolest name in the world, Themba Kevin. What's up, good brother? And to my right, we've got my good friend and one of the most talented dudes I know, Nick Soul. What's up, bro? Good to have you, bro. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so let's begin with Julius Malema. Julius turned 40 this week, and I swear I've never understood the petty name Kidiboni until now. The phrase, life begins at 40, is totally null and void with this guy. In just his 30s, Julius had already beefed with three presidents. And Casper's still beefing with AKA, guys. Imagine. Guys, what do you even do for a guy like Julius? I mean, like, you could throw him a party, but he'll just leave and start his own. So, guys, what I want to know is that, what are your thoughts of the life of Julius till now? I mean, like I said, just at 40 years old, this guy has lived more than people live their whole lives. Yeah. What is your take on Julius?
I think just be yourself. That's a great thing about it. And sometimes it's very intimidating. You know, the world sometimes puts us in these boxes that we should live. Yeah. But I think he's that guy for me. When I look at him, I'm just like, hey, dude, if you really do what you want to do and say what you want to say, then that creates an individual out of you. For sure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, and those are jewels. It's hard to find, I think.
Yeah. It is hard to find, bro. I mean, like, I feel like we're honored to live in his time. Like, personally, I don't want him to be my president, but I am like so glad like that we could experience him, and I think he was like part of the reeling in we needed as like having such a majority black government. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know you have a lot of opinions when it comes to Juju. A lot. What do you think about
I mean, Juju's is a top guy, top gent, top mind. He's got a brilliant mind, right? Yes. Political mind, is a political animal. But I mean, at 40, you don't even realize that actually this guy is only 40 with the amount of stuff that he's achieved. Yeah. You know, the amount of stuff that he's done. Like you said, I mean, in his 30s, only he's beefed with three presidents. He's instrumental in bringing in presidents, taking out presidents, you know. And the EFF is 8 years old, and Julius is only 40 years old. Amazing. Amazing.
Imagine.
Amazing.
And I was thinking the other day, I was like, as much as it's a joke that he's beefed with three presidents, but Cyril Ramaphosa is on his second term now, which means it's first term. He came in just before. Yes. He's on his first term. Jay-Z did 9 years, right? Did 9 years. So that's like 13 years. Yeah. Which means when Julius was fighting Thabo Mbeki, he was like in his early 20s.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
It's crazy.
That's insane to fathom.
Jeez, crazy. And I mean, at 40, he still probably has a lot to offer at the South African political landscape. And I think there's still a lot that he can do. And I mean, if you look at his party, the growth has been organic. You know, ground up, from the ground, he's been there, growing it steadily every single election. They're growing. I mean, I'm not sure the percentage that they're growing at, but it obviously is not like 10%. But if you look at it in that 8 years, they've probably grown eightfold, literally. So it's crazy. And what they've achieved in that short period of time with him at the helm, it's crazy. Just going to be interesting to see if he will still be in charge of the party when he gets to 50, you know, 60. Will he have reached the heights that I know he wants to reach as being president of the country? We'll see. But top guy, top jet.
It's definitely like something that I'm looking forward to seeing. And speaking of presidents, right? Patrice Motsepe has pulled a Kgalema Motlanthe when it comes to African football. He has become the president and people did not even vote.
So, Mamelodi Sundowns chairperson Patrice Motsepe will run for the presidency of the Confederation of African Football unopposed. This follows his opponents standing down in favor of an advisor role and 2 vice presidency roles.
Motsepe is now the president of CAF, which is the Confederations of African Football. And get this, dude, 3 of his opponents in the run for becoming president pulled out to support him. I mean, imagine if you were going for an audition and 3 of the actors you're auditioning against are like, actually, Nick deserves this role. How crazy is that, bro? Like,
that's crazy.
Dude, it's insane. But people have said it's just because he has so much money. And like looking at the evidence, bro, like he came out with his manifesto like I think months after it announced that he's running. People didn't even know what he was standing for until like a few weeks ago. So like I can't help but almost agree that the money or the influence must have had something to do with it. So I don't know, bro. What do you think? Because I know you're following that story very closely.
Now I've been following the story very closely since it broke, and I was actually listening to his 10-point plan that manifesto dropped 2 weeks ago. Look, the clout definitely helps because African football right now is in tatters.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't know what the hell is going on at CAF. We can't even get the games live on TV. The CAF Champions League games, none of that is on TV. There's an under 17 tournament now on
happening.
TV. Yeah,
It's not even on TV.
It's not even on TV. You know, it's not even broadcast. So Motsepe with this clout, right? Hopefully those are things that you hope that he'll be able to sort out.
Yeah.
Get the sponsors in, because I mean he's one of the guys that you know he can get into a boardroom and actually get those big corporates to spend the money and channel it into African football. So I think that's what people are actually hoping for, that this is a guy with clout, a guy who can actually go into a global boardroom, global corporations, and get them to actually channel the money and bring it into African football. So hopefully that works out. With the other guys dropping out, I mean, apparently it's a deal that was brokered by FIFA.
Yeah.
You know, where now his opponents will now become the vice presidents of CAF. So that they've actually structured a situation where Motsepe is at the helm, but the other guys will form a core part of his team in running African football. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if that means there's a bit of unity in African football, you know, with the South, the West, the Anglophones and the Francophones coming together and Motsepe at the helm for the greater good of African football, hey man,
it works. I mean, this is the guy that brought us, just in football, he brought us Ronaldinho back in the day, brought Barcelona to the country. This is the guy who brought Jay-Z and Beyonce just like a year or two ago to the country.
That life-changing event.
My man, and people were saying...
so surreal.
Exactly, bro. And people were saying that they're not even Christian, but if Jesus is going to come back, it's probably Motsepe that's going to bring him back. It was never gonna happen. Only Motsepe can make it happen. But I feel like, yeah, bro, money can just move mountains. Money can just move mountains, and like, sure, you say it's because of the money in a bad way, but that's the best thing. Like, you have somebody that has the money to make things happen. I mean, why would that be a bad thing?
Yeah, that is reminds me of that rich uncle who visits at the grandmother's place, and all the cousins come and visit because they know, the rich uncle is coming, and he drops out 20 rand. Exactly. And also in the family board, he's the Motsepe in the family board. Yeah. So it kind of works like that in simple terms.
Yeah, but like that's how influential this guy is. His name is even saying, bro, are you a Motsepe? Like, oh, that's a Motsepe. That's like how crazy he is, bro. Yeah. But sticking to finance news, guys, we talked about it last week. Jay-Z has brokered another huge deal. Jay-Z has sold a majority stake in Tidal to the CEO and founder of Twitter, Jack Dorsey. So they struck a deal on a yacht, apparently. So they've been chilling and they struck a deal. And I just can't help but think, ever since Kanye became a billionaire, Jay-Z has just been doing crazy money moves, bro. So I know Jay-Z is definitely feeling like the Michael Jordan of finance. Like when he saw Kanye become a billionaire, he's just like, he took it personally, bro. He took it personally, bro.
But I mean, he's been a billionaire for like 2-3 years already. Yeah. Because he was hip hop's first billionaire.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's just that Kanye overtook him.
And Kanye, they were saying he's on 1.3 billion. He says he's on 3.5.
Kanye.
Yeah, so he's on 3.5 or something.
Also Kanye,
And I was listening to Kanye West yesterday when I was in the gym on Life of Pablo. He said something about like, it was just a random rap. He's like, you must stop messing with the girls until like before he loses half his wealth. And now he's going through a divorce.
It's about to lose half his wealth.
But is he losing or gaining, bro? Like when you divorce a woman as rich as Kim, it's just like, take my 500,000, give me your 500,000. Let's be squared. So it's kind of crazy. But moving on to the main story of today, the reason that we got Nick Soul in is that today, or yesterday, Friday, the 5th of March, was coming to America Day. So this is like the biggest, my favorite movie of all time. The first movie, which was actually made in the year Nick was born. So 1988, 32 years to get a sequel. And the big story is that Nomza Mombata is in the movie playing the role of Mirembe. I haven't watched the movie yet, but it's out. Have you guys watched the movie?
Nope. Not yet, but I will watch it though.
You will watch it. Are you excited to watch it?
I saw the trailer, it kind of, I don't know. I'm happy for Nomzamo because I think it's time, and I've always said, if you want to, the difference between Africa and Hollywood is a plane ticket. You know what I mean? It's not the thing of...
It's not what people think.
No, not really. Come on, like, I mean, I've shot a couple of films overseas, so it's just like I kind of see what happens. I don't know. I'm happy to see it, but I just think the narrative of it now slowly, in terms of how America sees Africa, needs to slowly kind of be real. And that for me, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We spoke about it, Blaze, the king and queen type of thing, and how it's told. Just needs to really be real, because we are in the real world. But I will watch the film, and I think it's a great thing that Unomzamo is representing. I think it's a good thing, so that other girls can learn that it's just a plane ticket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to bring Blaze into the conversation more, because Blaze is a director and a filmmaker. Blaze, from your side, bro, when you're watching it, and as someone who's aspiring to make films at the highest level, what are like the biggest differences you notice? And especially when you see African actors, like let's say you watch a show with Nick in South Africa, then you watch a show with Nick in America. Do you feel like the Nick is the same and then the surrounding is different? Or do you feel like even the Nick changes, like even the acting from the character changes?
I mean, I think it's definitely more exposure for whoever the actor is, right? So I don't think they change necessarily, but they definitely get more reach, more connections, all that stuff. They get more opportunities, and therefore they can better their craft, reach more audiences. I think it's definitely dope for Nomzamo, and I think Black Panther also proves that it opens a bunch of doors, like Akani. Exactly. I feel like he got more opportunities, or at least more exposure. He was able to leverage it into staying in America much longer, and not just staying and struggling, but actually staying and making moves. So I think it's definitely worthwhile. At the end of the day, Hollywood is still the biggest film industry in the world.
So the resources.
Resources are crazy, bro.
Speaking of that, I actually wanted to ask Nick, because like with Presley Chwenyakhai, right? The biggest conversation people have when they see him, they're like, yo, look at what's her name? Terry. Terry. Look how her career went. Look how your career went. Could you have stayed in the States and like tried to work there? And his thing is that if I'm in the States, the only roles I'm looking for is that African guy.
See, I didn't even know that was his narrative.
Yeah, that's his narrative. I think he said it on McGee's podcast that he can only go for one role, and that's like a common conversation. Is it easier to stay that side and look for work, or can they see you from this side? I know Hungani also said to me when I interviewed him, when he studied in the States, he thought about staying that side, but he's like, no, after like a bit of time, he's like, let me just come home. And now that he's at home, he's like, nah, the grass is not greener where on the other side, it's greener where you water it. And Hungani, now there was talks of like Kenya wanting him for Blackish. And look at Tuso Mbedi. She's now working overseas, but she was spotted here. Pearl Tusi is in Thailand now shooting a movie. You've done a lot of things here. You go that side. So, would you still advise like actors or musicians or whoever to go to America to try to find opportunities where there's like 1 million people trying to do it, or is it better to just stay here and whether send your stuff across or do the best work you can? As an actor, what is your approach? Because I know like everybody wants to end up doing Hollywood because it is the biggest market, it is the best way to showcase your work, but what do you think in this day and age of the internet is the best way to go about it?
I mean, the bridge is really crossed now, you know what I mean? Like people just Google, and there was this British comedian, I was watching that on Wendy Williams, I forgot her name, but she was just saying they were writing this comedy and then they went on Google and they said Nigerian, they were looking for a very specific writer. They said Nigerian comedians. And she was the first one who popped up. Then they called her from there. Yes, then she became part of the writers and starring in the show.
Damn,
you know what I mean? So it's not even a thing, you know what I mean? Like it's just, everything is out there online. You work on your show reel, you know, and actually international agencies are very open now to signing international talent.
Yeah.
So they push you while you're sitting in Johannesburg, pushing your stuff, and then they say, okay, cool, send us a tape for this. And because of COVID now, actually everything we do something we call self-tapes. That's what we do. Exactly. Self-tapes. So if you're in Africa and something is needed in America, you do a self-tape.
You see,
it's also cheaper.
Just add on that, Nomzamo said the same thing. I was reading an interview on the Hollywood Reporter, I think about it.
Yes, I saw it came out a few days
ago. He said the same thing. That's how the interviewing process went by. I mean, yes, you flew from Abu Dhabi to USA, did a screen test, COVID, and she came back to South Africa. or before that actually, but she came back to South Africa, but the process was through the self tapes, like an 8-week period where you're sending screen tests, whatever.
Yes.
And then that's how she got the role after all that.
So I don't think really, because also the logistics of moving to America, it's really expensive, even for American actors. Like moving in, because you've got New York, you've got Hollywood. You choose. If you're a stage actor like me, I can live in New York, then work with my agent, via Hollywood, then fly to LA if I need to, do a final screening. But the logistics, the money. I mean, I have friends, I can survive, but it's just, it's really close to impossible if you don't have the money to go there. So you just make sure you have your agent, and then you're good to go while you hustling. Because also the Presley thing, because I didn't know that for me. Because when I spoke to my agent, I said I don't want to be a Tyrone. Because there's many other Tyrones. In the States.
Who are
who are actual Tyrones. I must sit down and learn an accent. What are you doing, man? You know what I mean? Like, get it right. You know what I'm saying? Get them over, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that takes time and takes money to get because you gotta have to accent coach and everything. You can't just do it on your own. And also in America, when you play an American role, where are you from? Alabama, Salt Lake City?
Accent's different.
Are you from New York? Are you from, there's no generic
it's
American
not just
accent.
Tibo touch.
You know what I mean? It's not just the Tibo. But at the end of the day, the world is opening up. Not opening up. It's about the world is seeing the incredibleness and the dopeness and the sickness that Africa is. And even in music, Davido, Tiwa Savage being signed overseas. So even in acting, that's what's happening right now. So why not contribute to how the world sees Africa by selling yourself to the world, than having to be part of what has been sold to us for many years. That narrative for me, I know it.
I know it. When
I
think the phrase you said about watering where you are, the grass is greener when you water.
Yes.
I think that's true, because if you look at like artists like AKA Casper, they, for instance, only made it to, is it the Breakfast Show, Sway, once they had already made it big here. And I think it's important to make it where you are. It's cheaper, it's easier, and you also have long-term support.
For sure.
Yeah, but also the world doesn't care. The world doesn't care. Like, the world doesn't really care because, yes, fly to America. Like, I'm interesting to America from how I sound and what I've done. Because I've been there. So then they're like, oh my God, where you from? Tell us more. Your sound, the way you look, I'm interesting to America. I'm a product to America. You know what I mean? Water, that green part situation.
So now, if you go to America and
exactly.
blend in,
it's green. The grass is green here, the grass is brown here.
But also,
so
I think what you said about being a Tyrone is important, because when you look at just the practical side of it, as a black person in South Africa, you are part of the majority, right? In America, you're part of the minority. Even people who are natives, African Americans, they struggle to make it there. So when now an unknown, you want to go there, it's going to be hard. Harder than it would be here. So I feel like it's easier to make it in your country, and then it makes you so much more visible to those people who are looking for talent outside.
Especially like in this day and age. You guys see how well Majimbo is, how you say her name is doing. Elsa is doing.
Amazing.
Killing it, bro. Like, just from her phone, bro. And now she's working that side. And to what you said about with Davido, just this past week, Nasty C was on Ellen. Davido was on Jimmy Kimmel. And these guys are just chilling at home, shooting with their guys, and you see that, dude, the quality is there. Everything is dope. It's just the opportunities and the reach. And now, because of the internet, everything is reaching.
No,
I thought you were saying something.
Just agree with you.
Yeah, so now I totally agree with you guys. Yeah, but that is the show in terms of the topics I had. So I think like now we can just go into convo about what's up in Nick Soul's life. So what's the cup? What's happening with Laan, bro? I saw you shooting? You said you're shooting a wedding soon? Or?
Yeah, there should be a wedding coming up soon. The Kurds got engaged. Remember, there was a big conversation about multiracial relationships, which was such a shocker. Even the BBC, like what the hell, like
Came in.
yeah. Why I'm talking about the BBC about multiracial relationships.
Exactly.
In
South
Africa. Now, I know where we come from, but I think we kind of all separate and hiding in our shadows about what we feel.
Yeah.
Because really, the conversation hasn't been had yet. But that's another topic.
That's another topic. But totally agree.
Yeah, but I mean, it's great. And I think I like the platform because it has opened me up to different audiences.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Skim Sams and all of that, they did the black, and that will never go away for me, which is weird. It's been like so many years. That will never go away. But then this platform then says, okay, then here's the colored audience, here's the white audience. So then you're not just big because to the majority, you're big even to the minority. So then it's a bigger conversation for me because my work, that's where I want to go as a producer, to then look at what spaces I can take.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to make films. Obviously I'm a black person and that's where my narrative is. But I want other people to watch my stuff and find interest in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because yes, the conversation wasn't had, but we're moving forward. And how are we moving forward? And business-wise, as a producer and a writer, then how do you find your space in such a complicated world?
Exactly. I think if it's not for I think we can't run away from the fact that I've heard from other people that have been on Sierra. I think we've also touched on the conversation with you. There are challenges to acting on a production that speaks predominantly another language. But if actors aren't willing to go into those uncomfortable spaces,
correct,
then nothing is ever going to happen. No transformation will ever happen.
True.
Yes. Yeah, and I think for me, because first of all, and I'm speaking to our dialogue coach, because we have a dialogue coach on Laan, which is quite very professional. Like say a dialogue coach before you go on set. So it's not just your understanding of the material. Like someone else you sit down and see it. How the material is. At least for me, I know the reason why I'm on that set. You know what I mean? I know the reason why I'm on that set because also as an actor you must challenge yourself acting in a language you don't understand. Imagine you going to France and doing a French film, you have no idea what they say. So you have to do your research.
Exactly, bro. You see how big those shows are. Lupin on Netflix is doing huge things. The Spanish shows are doing
South Korean shows also.
South Korean shows. So I'm actors are worried about. In South Africa, maybe we're comfortable because we have so many languages.
Correct.
But dude, in terms of the world, you probably are going to have to learn another language if you try to do a big role elsewhere.
Outside of America.
Outside. And no one cares anymore. And hence I said about Hollywood. And I love Hollywood. I love you wherever you are. You know what I mean? I love you, Hollywood. Hire me. But the world is not about that anymore. Let's focus on Asian films, French films.
Yes.
What Netflix and that space is doing is saying to us, guys, let's look at other places and we are all because America had the first mic, but now the baton has been passed. So everybody has the microphone. Tell your narrative. Back to the African thing. My people are my people. I live for my people. I live for my narrative. When my great grandparents will be proud of me, and when I get to heaven one day, the question would, what did you tell? And what does have you made the world more different from what you know?
Alright, before we wrap it up, bro, what's up? What's next? Skim Sam, I know people want you back there. Is it gonna happen?
On Instagram, my handle is Nixo. I'm joking. No, I'm more into producing. Faye takes time. Talk to me. Documentaries. I'm working on films. I'm planning to shoot my first film this year in December.
Dope.
So maybe I might see you for a role.
You know my favorite part, the music. What can we look forward to?
Dog, Afro Jam. You see the Tiwa Davido thing? That's why it took so long. My first album was 2017, nominated for a Sama. But now I think it's Grammy. No, because I'm not rushing my music. I'm older. I'm 32 years old. When it comes out, people need to be like, that's a man who made this. It wasn't rush. You know what I mean? There mustn't be questions about it.
Yeah.
You know, and consistently, that I think that's where I am right now.
Yeah, bro. Now I'm looking forward to everything, bro. Like I said, Nick is one of the most talented people I know. So everything that he's bringing out, I'd encourage you guys to check it out. Like you said, follow him on.
Oh, no, like you said, listen.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm joking.
Yeah,
sorry. Let you do your job. Sorry.
So yeah, like I said, Nick is one of the most talented people I know. Like you said, he's on Instagram, he's on Twitter, he's on everything. We'll put all those links in the description. Like you're shooting a show with your friends. But that's what makes the show so fun. Having talented friends, having people that are very opinionated. So yeah, now I'm gonna do my job. So yeah, like Nick said, follow him on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. We'll put all those links in the description just to find out what he's working on, what's happening in his life. And yeah, we'll put all our links in the description. And as usual, we are shooting at Seam Coffee, guys.
Seam Coffee.
Seam Coffee in 4 ways. Do visit the spot, check it out, show them support. By so doing, showing us support. And until next time, don't forget to do the usual. Subscribe, tell a friend, like the video, and just spread the word. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Enjoy.